So have the number of blasphemy murders gone down, or are they just less reported? Well, Dirty Dancer, gone down from what time period? That's a very important part. Like, what are we comparing this
to? Yeah. Short term or long term? Long term, they have gone down for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Short
also
term,
percentage-wise, per capita, like percentage or total number? That's also
mm-hmm.
another question.
So, and then are we talking about executions done by the state, or are we talking about vigilante murders, mob violence that occur? Or are we both?
I think they've gone down overall. If you have to like really be short term focus for it to have gone up. Like it has to be like very small. Your time horizon has to be very small for it to look like they're going up. Like I think as soon as you zoom out a little bit, it has gone down, both percentage wise and total number wise, and whether or not you include government base or not government base. So that's what I assume. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, let me pull up the. You're a nerd when you have the USRIF blasphemy report just like ready to go on your desktop. Man, it would take me a while to actually dig through this to figure out what the time period this sample comes from. Based off the top of my head, within the past year, most of the mob violence for blasphemy has been in South Asia.
Oh, Dirty Dancer saying I was mostly talking about individual actors doing T attacks in the West. Okay, but Dirty
that's
Dancer
totally different.
Yeah, and why do you assume that that if you don't specify, that means the West? Like that means that you have such a Western centric mindset that if you don't specify, that means you mean the West. Like maybe like re-examine the way you look at the world, that you assume that we would get that you're talking about the West when you don't specify that you were talking about the West, right? And if you're talking about the West, then definitely the numbers are down. For sure.
Okay, here we go. Again, it's gonna take me a second to find the time period, but was published in 2020. And so it was from a time period before 2020. Of the 674 cases of state enforcement of blasphemy law, researchers found 78 cases in which mob activity, threats, or violence surrounding blasphemy allegations coincide with state enforcement. Researchers also identified 58 incidents when mob activity, mob violence, and or threat of violence occurred around rumors or allegations of blasphemy without state enforcement. So those weren't necessarily murders or deaths.
No, murders and deaths are down definitely in the West. But okay, Dirty Dancer saying I'm from the West. That's what I think about. Yeah, but but we can't tell, right? There's no way that we can tell that that's like if somebody says like, oh, our blasphemy murders down. And then we say like, well, they're down globally, and they say like, well, I'm from India. I meant from India. Like, how could we tell that you meant from India? Because we can't tell that you're from India, right? And we can't know that you meant that you're. Anyways.
Well, also, okay. So to answer what I was referring to, the data that I was giving was from a 5-year period between January 2014 and 2018. That's the most recent data that we have.
Wait, so.
But also, if someone asked me about blasphemy deaths, the last thing I would think about would be the West.
Yeah, the first thing I would think about would be Iran, Saudi Arabia,
and Pakistan,
and Bangladesh. That's what I would think about. Like, yeah, blasphemy deaths immediately brings me to these countries. Actually, these are the main 4 countries, aren't they? Bangladesh, Pakistan, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. Iran and Saudi Arabia from the government, Pakistan and Bangladesh from the people. Wait.
For murders and executions, yes.
Yeah. I know there's some other countries in Africa that have these issues, but the numbers are not even.
Nigeria being one of them.
Yeah, but their numbers are not even comparable.
Yeah.
What's that other country that I can never pronounce in Africa?
Mauritania.
Mauritania. There we go. Wow, you're on top of that.
I'm on top of it.
Yes.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.